Ronnie, that was some match to watch, but I guess that's no comfort for you as you had a chance in that decider.
Yeah, I just listen. I'm just pleased that I was able to just focus on playing the match and trying to compete. You know, it is what it is. Reality for me is it's over, so there's not a lot I can do about it now. But yeah, no, it was alright. I tried to give him a game and make a bit of a game of it, you know.
And he showed some bottle at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, well, that's what you got to do. You know, if you want to come here and win titles, you know, that's the sort of way you got to play under pressure. You know.
Would it be nice to see a new winner? Would you like to see him go on?
Listen, it's like I said. You know, it's in. I don't get involved in. Like who do I want to see win? What do I think? You know, I've just lost the game of snooker, and to me, it's none of my business really.
How do you reflect on the season though?
I was working it out today. Probably 20% played all right, 8% of it not great. But on the whole, I've had a fantastic year. You know, I've enjoyed it. I spent 9 months at Champneys Health Spa running, keeping myself fit. I'm in good shape. Played quite a bit of snooker for me. I've had a fantastic time, you know. So for me, yeah, I've got no complaints really. So yeah, no, it's life could be better, but it'd have to go some to be better, if that makes sense.
So you draw plenty of positives going forward. You were talking about obviously Steve Peters, and you've been working with him.
Well, I'd love to play for another 5-10 years. You know, I've got great relationships with my sponsors and people like that, and you know, for me, it's snooker is a business, you know, and part of my business is that I come and play snooker. And to be honest with you, I've really struggled to enjoy it because, you know, unless I play well, I don't really want to be out there. But, you know, I've worked hard with Steve, and I think if I can, you know, I'm going to play for 5 years just because I like the lifestyle, I've got great relationships with my sponsors, and I'd be crazy not to, you know. And, you know, everything I do just complements each other, and I've got it as good as I've ever had it. So it's just a better matter for me to be able to just try and enjoy the game and not crucify myself, you know. And I was able to do that today, which was great. So hopefully I'm able to enjoy the game. And, you know, it doesn't really matter for me if I win or lose. Like I said, you know, I kind of see my career and myself as a business, and, you know, winning and losing, you know, I could probably take it a little bit, you know, it doesn't really... You know, that match means more for Ants than it would for me. You know, it's better. You know, if I was a neutral, I'd be pulling for Ant because, you know, they work hard, these guys on the circuit. So, you know, you can't begrudge him. But for me, I'm quite privileged, and, you know, I have to be grateful for what I've got and where I am. And all I've got to do, like I say, is just stay in a good frame of mind and just turn up and listen. I need to play 2 good weeks of the year, and everyone on my side of the fence is happy. You know, I just... You know, it's like Roger Federer if he never won another match, and Tiger Woods, just seeing him on the start line. You know, that's all that people really want to see, really. You know what I mean? So for me, I just have to use that as to my advantage and try not get too down on myself if I can. You know what I mean? But it's hard because obviously I would have liked to have had another match here, but it's not meant to be. You know.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Ronnie, just on the match, I know when you're in it, you probably don't realise, but it was, from the neutral, it was a real roller coaster seesaw match. 7 on the spin for Ants, you had 6 on the spin. How did it feel actually being out there in it?
It was tough for me because obviously, like I said, I haven't really been enjoying my snooker for quite a while. You know, if I play well, I enjoy it, and, you know, and I'll try and want to be out there. But if I'm not, I'm like, you know, I can't really be bothered. You know what I mean? I'm looking at my watch, thinking, how quickly can I get out of this arena, whether it's a first round, second round, or final. You know. So it was nice to compete out there tonight, even when I wasn't firing all these 6 cylinders. I'll give it all I had, and that's pleasing. And if I can continue to do that, like I said, you know, it's just that's the most important thing. You know, if I get a few results on the way, great. If I don't, no big deal. Do you know what I mean? It's like I really don't have anything to prove. If anything, you know, I've set the yardstick for everyone else to try and catch. So, you know, and I'm still playing. So, you know, it's not a bad situation to be in, I suppose.
It's clear that you were giving it everything. You really dug in there at sort of 10-6 down. I've got the impression you've got a bit of respect for Anthony. He's got quite a tidy game, hasn't he?
I've got respect for all the players. You know, I think they have to. You know, they work hard on this circuit, and you can't begrudge anyone anything on the tour. You know, it's tough for them. So anyone that beats me, you know, anyone that's got both feet in snooker and like, you know, and having to play this game for a living, you know. they've got my utmost admiration because it's not easy. I couldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? It's tough, you know, and a lot of these guys on the circuit, that's all they've got, you know, is tournaments, and you know, it's tough, you know. You know, it's difficult, you know, and you know, so I have a massive admiration for him because, you know, it's and I do. So I don't begrudge any of them a result or whatever, you know, because it's probably, you know, like I said, as a neutral, that'll mean more for Anthony than will for me. Obviously, I'm disappointed, but you know, you can only wish your fellow professionals well, really. Do you know what I mean? If I'm doing well, you want them to do well, and if they're doing well, I want to do well. You know, we're in it together, really. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's hard for a lot of the snooker players on the circuit. You know, it really, really is. So, no, I'm kind of pleased for him, if that makes sense.
And just one final, I mean, a lot of people, not you to be fair, were talking a bit about this possibility of equaling Stephen Hendry's 7 world titles. How many more years do you think you might realistically have a crack at that?
I've probably got another 5 years, I suppose. You know, I'm the way I look after myself, the way I play. You know, I look around. You know, there's some decent players about, some very, very good players, but you know, I suppose I could get it right maybe one more time. But like I said, you know, it's probably the only record I haven't got, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself. The most important thing for me is just to keep playing because, like I said, it is a business. And if I don't play, part of my business wouldn't do so well, you know. So you know, like I said, you know, I've got a lot of things happening, and they happen much better if I play. You know, I've just got to try and find some enjoyment within the game if I can. You know, that's the only thing I struggle with, is accepting that I can't play well all the time. You know, it's just really because it's such a nice feeling when you do. You know.
Well, thanks very much for your time.
Okay, cheers, thank you.
Both.
Yeah, done. Yeah.
Just a quick one. You mentioned that this season you played in more tournaments than you have previously, I guess because it's slightly easier in terms of the travel and everything going backwards and forwards from the King. How many tournaments can we expect to see you play in next season?
It just depends on the schedule, you know. I'd like to play more in China because obviously my longevity and what I do beyond snooker lies in China. So obviously, you know, they get priority, they get the nod. You know, so I have some very good relationships with some people out there. But as the situation is, who knows when I will be going back there. So yeah, you know, like I'm just trying to get the most out, what's right for me for now and the future and for the next 10, 15 years. So, you know, China is the place to be for me, really, and sooner I can get out there, the better. And then just, you know, if they get you travelling around the world 4 times in 3 weeks, then obviously I'll have to do that in China and then miss a few here. But, you know, if the schedule was put together sensibly, I could play there and play here. But, you know, my life comes first, and I'll look at the schedule and, you know, I'll give every promoter the option to work with me, and you know, and I'll pick and choose whatever tournament works for me, you know, and what I do off the table as well, you know. So yeah, you know, it's all details and just sorting things out with people to work out what I will be planning next year.
Can you still win here? Can you still win here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I wouldn't say that if I didn't think so. You know, it's whether I want it bad enough. You know, for me, like I said, you know, I just need to just pitch up and play. You know, and a bit like Federer and Woods, if you like. You know, probably not the best player on the circuit. Probably don't have the desire that they had when they was younger, or what some of the younger guys have around them. But they're still, you know, when they pitch up and play, they're still the one that everybody wants to see, I suppose. And I suppose I still kind of carry that sort of position in snooker until someone comes along and beats a lot of my records and can kind of claim that mantle. You know, I think I've kind of got that pretty much for the next 10, 15 years. So, you know, it's just about how I plot my career, really. And, you know, that's down to my management and my company and people who look after me. And, yeah, you know, I'd like to play for at least 5, maybe 10 years. Whether I win or not, it's not the most important thing, but just pitching up and playing is it's part of the bargain, and I kind of got, if I can do that in a nice place, that'd be even fantastic. Yeah.
And the break-off, I mean, is there justice for the break-off now?
Well, if you look at my break, it's probably the worst break in the history of snooker. So.
Betfred, proud sponsor of the World Snooker Championship.